Elon Musk just gave us the first glimpse of FSD Beta V12. V12, once it's released to the public, is going to be your fully autonomous electric vehicle. Your vehicle that could then sign up for the robotaxi network, which has huge opportunities for Tesla. So this information is quite important if you are a Tesla stock investor, or if you're just someone that is into the evolution of humanity. This is a very important video. At the end of this video, I will share some of my thoughts on this drive and some new reactions that I have to this software. I did take the liberty to speed this up 1.5 times speed because the original live stream is about 45 minutes, so hopefully this saves you some time and gets right to the point. A lot of the time you're sitting at red lights, and I don't think a lot of people want to spend their time watching that. So we have a condensed version for you. We have the best version for you. Let's go ahead and get into it. Enjoy and cheers.
All right, I think we are now live. Great. And I think it's maybe better to go horizontal. We see more horizontal than vertical. All right, hey guys. So let's see, and you can sort of read some of the comments there. All right, let's see. So here we are. We're just leaving Tesla headquarters, and we just dropped a random pin at Stanford or whatever. We can clear that though, and why don't we forget? I'll just whatever. AI end to end. Let's see how it does. So let's go. Well, let's see. Okay, so here we're kind of, let's see, added to kind of random spot. That's going to be pretty wobbly. But it's really smooth sailing in the car itself. And here we're encountering some construction, and the car is just driving around the construction. So it has never seen this construction before. Well, it is near the headquarters, but this construction is relatively new. Let's learn exactly the right lane. Now it's going over to the right lane. Yeah, okay, great. You can see the destination. Hopefully you don't make me so there. Let's see, is this working? Is this live stream working? Hello?
Can check on my phone. I think it's working. The auto disinfection.
I mean, obviously it's a little boring because we're at a red light. And there's a lot of traffic at this time. So, I don't want to bore people to death here, but we're just sitting at a red light in Palo Alto. Yeah, I think like the videos like this are maybe more interesting if they're edited and sped up.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'll try to answer comments if I see comments. Man, this is a long ride. Well, the car is patiently waiting for the car light to change. And, yeah. Made a good left. It's kind of hard to tell maybe from the live stream, but the car is driving very smoothly. I think we'll rely on others to take this video, edit out the boring bits, and speed it up. Just move right there. Entirely AI and cameras. Just like our brain works, which is neural nets and eyes. Yep, I just slow down for a speed bump, which is cool. And just slow down for another speed bump. And we did not program in, there's no line of code that says slow down for speed bumps. So it is doing this based entirely on video training. Yeah, and there's a bicyclist. Again, there is no line of code that says give clearance to bicyclists. It is just doing what people do. it can read science without ever being taught to read. Once again, there is no line of code that says stop at a stop sign or wait for another car.
Who came first or whatever.
Well, who came? There's not like wait X number of seconds. Nothing like that. Nothing. This is all nets, baby. Nothing but nets. And when we get to our destination, we'll change the pin. It's like probably somewhere else random. Maybe we'll run into Zuckerberg and we can challenge him to a fight. That'd be fun. Spice it up. He's not traveling somewhere to his backyard. So here we are at a roundabout. So roundabouts are obviously pretty complicated.
It's needed for those 2 cars.
Yep, it just waited for those 2 cars to go and then did the turn. Again, I'm being somewhat repetitive about this, but we have never programmed in the concept of a roundabout. We just showed a whole bunch of videos of roundabouts. So
a big fleet helps.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need a lot of training data, a lot of video training data in order to make this work. And you need really billions of dollars of training hardware, and you need to know how to run the neural net training hardware. So it's not like easy, but the mind-blowing thing is that there's no heuristics. There's no like lines of code. Like there's a guy on a scooter. Doesn't know what a scooter is. It doesn't know what pedals are. It's literally just been given a lot of video. And it's doing all of this on hardware 3 with about 100 watts of inference compute. So it's not like it's not some like massive data center. And if we were offline, there would be no difference. This is locally. All the inference that's happening is local. It does not need an internet connection. And obviously that's necessary because if you lost your cellular internet connection, the car needs to drive safely. But we could be somewhere where there is no internet connection. And it's never seen the roads before. It doesn't matter.
Runs at 36 FPS.
Oh yeah, we're running at the full frame rate. So it's taking 8 cameras at 36 frames per second. Yeah, the pure AI version runs faster than the version that is a mixture of normal software and AI. In fact, it would run it faster than 36 frames per second, except the cameras are currently only capable of 36 FPS. Our current, back to the envelope frame number is we think it could probably run at 50 frames a second. Yeah, so but the reality of the roads are basically designed around 24 frames a second. Basically, it's similar to I just forgot to go to our destination, so I'll just pick a new destination here. Yeah, there's like some sort of random place here. Yeah, wherever somewhere. I'm like, hello, assassins. If you want to get me, now's your chance. You just need to be in Palo Alto. Like this, the assassin count is low in Palo Alto. So we're just, I just dropped a sort of random pin. We don't know where we're going really. Just somewhere in Palo Alto. But it's also worth noting, and Shoki may want to actually sort of provide some commentary as well. But we've got test drive, FSD 12 test drivers around the world. So we've got people in, I think, like New Zealand and like Thailand and Norway, Japan.
Everywhere. Because you should generalize. The concept of driving is general. You don't need to just do it in the US. You can do it everywhere simultaneously.
Right. Exactly. Just like a human can go travel to a country they've never been to before and rent a car and drive around. And be, maybe not quite as good as someone local, but you can still rent a car in a foreign country and drive around. And we just have like some students over there that one of them stumbled briefly into the road and the car drove around them. A lovely day in California. The beautiful Stanford campus. Playing a little Four Seasons. We'll change the...
Recently that also, instructions following, so you could say lane change to the leftmost lane, or pull over here or something, and the car should even respect those kinds of commands.
Yeah, exactly. So here we got a roundabout. The car is I've never been to this roundabout before, and the car is not specifically trained on this roundabout.
Yeah, and then once it's out done, it just proceeds.
Yeah, exactly. So it waited correctly for the correct amount of time, drove smoothly around the roundabout. you know, I will be somewhat repetitive, but there is no line of code that says this is a roundabout. There is nothing that says wait, you know, X number of seconds, which is what we have in the explicit control stack. That's the sort of version 11. There's over 300,000 lines of C++ in the explicit control stack of version 11, and there's basically none of that in version 12.
Yeah, just because there's no lines of code doesn't mean that it's not controllable. It's still like quite controllable on what you want by just adding data. Now you have to program with data instead of programming with code.
Yeah, data curation.
Yeah.
And then whenever we find that there's something, so if a card doesn't perform perfectly, we give it more examples of what it should do in that situation, and you know, updates the weights, and then it works.
Yeah, and also we have labelers cleaning and making sure that all the data that goes in is like the good driving data, not like the bad drivers from, you know, the world. There are bad drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important. The quality of the data is very important. So large amounts of mediocre data do not improve driving.
Yeah, it's quite the opposite actually.
Yeah, it makes it worse. So that's why the data curation is actually quite difficult. And actually, there is quite a bit of software around what data, you know, so selecting what data to train the system.
Yeah.
So
the software that runs in the car is minimal, but the software in the back end to train is like much larger and much more sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly. So we do use like normal software for, you know, C++ basically for Python for deciding what data to select from the fleet, and then figuring out, well, what is the high quality data versus the pretty good data.
Yeah, and once we have a model, we also ship those models in shadow mode to cars, and then every time it disagrees with what the user did,
Yeah, exactly.
you can get the data back, and then, you know, kind of, that is more valuable than just collecting, you know, random data.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so we feel good about actually having a very rapid virtuous cycle where when there is an intervention in the fleet, that with that intervention automatically being uploaded to training, being integrated with training, and then updating really just the weights. So it's not the binary that's changing, it's the weights. Well, it's not the execution binary, it's just really the weights. Yeah. So we're headed here. So I have not intervened once, and the drive has been butter smooth. And again, being somewhat repetitive, we're repetitive about being repetitive, in fact, but we have not programmed in the concept of traffic lights. So there's not like, oh, this is a red light, this is a green light, and this is the traffic light position. We have that in the normal stack, but we do not have that in V12. This is just video training. Like I said, nothing but neural nets. And yet it knows which light applies to it, and it stops at a red light, accelerates at a green light. Now, one of the sort of maybe slightly funny challenges we've had is that since the car is being trained on what humans do, humans almost never stop fully at a stop street. So when they get to a stop sign, humans actually almost never go to 0 miles an hour. They may think they did, but usually they're doing at least a few miles an hour at a stop, coming up to a stop street. Sometimes, you know, people go faster than that, but the regulators are they're really quite insistent that we go to come to a complete stop at stop signs, and when we looked at the data, only 5% of the time do humans actually stop fully.
Even lower than that, like 0.5%.
0.5%? Wow. Okay, so basically, people almost never fully stop at stop signs. So we had to.
Even if you look at those data, it's like a lot of them come to a stop and they get on their phone or something. You know, it's not just regular people doing the stops.
Yeah, they might like semi-stop and then move a little bit and that kind of thing. So we had to like poll the fleet for rare examples that less than 1% of the time when people actually come to a full stop, and artificially train the system to stop at stop signs at the insistence of the regulators. So. Like I said, it's a little slow because we're driving around in basically rush hour. Intervention, sorry. Okay, so that's our first intervention because the car should be going straight.
Yeah, so this model has small regression in the traffic lights.
That's right.
The traffic lights. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we've not released it to the public yet. So an intervention at this traffic light. That's the first intervention in the whole drive. Okay. Yeah, so it just did a merge, traffic merge, super smooth. So for that intervention that we just had, the solution is essentially to feed the network a bunch more video of traffic lights. So that was a controlled left controlled left turn, where there was green light for the left turn, but not a green light to go straight. And so we'll feed it a bunch of video of controlled left turns, and then it'll work.
In the next 2 weeks, we're going to release a shadow mode release where we're going to run this network in the background, and then check when, for example, in this case, we would have wanted to go, but then the driver would not have gone. So we can just check that, okay, and then you get the data back into the labelers, and the labelers say who was selected.
Yeah.
And that helps know that we should not have gone. So you don't have to even get the intervention. You can just passively observe what we want to do, and this is what happened in reality.
Right. So here we have another controlled left traffic intersection, although it's doing both greens, so that's kind of an easy one. The smoothness of the control, like the car, just how smoothly the car is behaving, it's hard to convey, I think, on camera, but it's just super smooth. Yeah, you have to feel it, really. So that's making a left turn. So it's gotten itself into the left turn lane. Again, we've never programmed in the notion of a turn lane or anything like that.
Or even a lane.
But we didn't even know what we've never. There's no line that says. I think that there's no line of code about traffic lanes at all.
Internal to its mind, it might know all these concepts and how we think about it, lanes and factors, but you've just not explicitly asked for it.
Yeah, just like humans. Yeah, Alright, we've arrived at this random pin.
It might try to pull over. Let's see if it does. Sometimes it does pull over.
Yeah, so so this is pretty cool. So the car just pulled over to the side of the road and
the car should get off
and parked. So it knows at the end of its destination, based on the video that's received, that at the end of the destination you pull over to the side and park.
Yeah, so it gets the exact pin location in relation to the navigation route. So this pin is close. It's a good spot here. It puts over here, but in big parking lots where there might not be any map, it should just go as close to the pin as possible.
Right. Exactly.
Even without any route or anything like that.
Yeah. In fact, in sort of robotaxi world, it would actually just probably perhaps know what you look like and just literally look for you.
Yeah. If you have a picture or something, you can just look for
exactly.
you.
It's like if you're signed up and it's like just say you don't have to, but if you want the car to literally find you, you just have to send it a picture of you, and it will look for you and wait for you.
Yeah, exactly. And you can also say drop me off at the Starbucks or something.
Yeah.
To drop you off at the building's entrance as close to Starbucks as possible, as opposed to somewhere random.
Yeah, exactly. So, I guess let's see. We'll probably head back to HQ or head to the engineering HQ.
Do you want to fight or?
Wait, where does he live? It's somewhere around here. Yeah, should we just Google it?
You can Google it.
I mean, we can knock on the door and whatever Google says.
Please say hi, I guess.
Yeah, we'll say hi. We'll be friendly. It's just a polite inquiry as to whether you would like to engage in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
if it's it's not inconvenient. Perhaps you would like to fight. Okay, so this is literally, we just Googled it. We don't know if this is where he actually lives or not, but we'll just go there.
Roughly.
So, okay. So let's go, guys. What? So now we're at least going to where Google says, Zuckerberg lives. I don't think this is really, can't be really considered doxing if we just Googled it. So we'll see if it's the drive correctly to where Google thinks you live. So doing a pretty good job of driving through the Palo Alto suburb for Lolly.
Even the speed assist, everything is automatic.
Right, but is it going to stop yet? Okay, good. Stopped at the red line?
Yeah, it was a late yellow, so it's
Yeah. It's pretty much what a person would do.
yeah.
Some cyclists over there. And Palo Alto really is a lovely town. It feels like the Truman Show.
It's best for families.
Yeah. It's like everything's perfect. I'll turn it so I can see the comments. Yeah, there's no lane drifting. It's super smooth in the lane. And it doesn't confuse a bike lane with a real lane or anything like that. Yeah, the ride is super comfortable. As I see messages popping up, I'll try to answer them. That was a lot of messages, actually. Which way is it? Feels like 600. So now it's gone into the... So here we are, headed to like Edgewood Drive. I don't know if this is actually with us or not. Probably not, because it's like I would expect it to be like a lot of security and stuff. Anyway, well, this is we are at the spot that's roughly where, but I don't think this doesn't seem probably where it's because probably be security and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, but you know, it's sort of still nice driving around Palo Alto.
Can I head back to the office?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. I mean, Zuckerberg did say, like, name the date in bold letters or whatever on, you know, whatever platform he's on. And so I'm like, hey, how about right now? So, just, you know, does now work? Alright, well, we can find him, so we are heading back to Tesla headquarters.
Or should I be waiting for the pedestrians or something?
It's like, felt overly cautious about the pedestrians. Let's go all passing by. We won't film them because they might be a little
They
weird.
don't be approving it.
Yeah, just walk past. So, yeah, of course. The car is very, very polite with pedestrians. So it's stopped to wait for the couple to pass by, and now it's continuing to drive. So here we are in Palo Alto, driving on to Pure AI. Let's head back to Tesla Global Engineering Headquarters in Palo Alto. Let's see, how does it react to low visibility conditions is one of the questions.
Yeah,
Like at night and stuff, I suppose, or rain and snow.
I think it works as you're expected to. It like slows down rain and then drives at lower speed. And for uploaded intersections, it kind of like crawls forward and then checks the vehicles coming. That's one of the areas that we're trying to improve even more than just doing it right now.
Yeah, and one of the reasons we definitely we need training from all around the world is that the weather in California is amazing, and it's a, you know, as the song goes, like basically never rains in California. It's like sunny and nice almost all the time.
The drivers are pretty nice too.
Yeah, the drivers here are quite blind. So
We need some aggressive drivers and also pedestrians.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. Like we need situations where like there's a parade or a crowded situation or whatever, a lot of pedestrians for whatever reason.
we want to be safe, but also confident and be confident that we don't want to be too skittish and like hit the brakes all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's like unnecessary.
Yeah, but it's winter basically in New Zealand, and so we have like this snowy conditions there that we can train in. There's a bicyclist. Oh, it's a little tight. It's okay.
Maybe it's looking for pedestrians.
Yeah, it is very conservative with bicyclists and pedestrians. So generally, so.
They return away almost to like forest country.
Yeah.
unprotected turn for us.
Yeah, okay, so this is a tricky one. So this is turning left onto Middlefield in Palo Alto where visibility is not great. So it's like the cars come from both sides at pretty high speeds. But did it? Yeah, no problem. Great. So an unprotected left onto a high-speed road, fairly high-speed road. No problem. Yeah, so V12 will be, I'd say, actually smart on ASS.
Yeah. Internally, we also call it like revenge summon almost, because we want someone to be like so much. Like first summon was okay, but you know, the summon is going to be like so good that like.
I call it actually smart on.
Actually smart.
ASS. It's like, don't you want some ASS? Of course you do.
Speed up is quite nice too.
Yeah, exactly. Like the very intuitive, smooth speed up and acceleration in turns.
Yeah, even set speed is just set to some max value.
Yeah, exactly. It's like currently set to 85, but it's ignoring the set speed. It's driving at what would be intuitively the right speed for vehicles to drive at.
Yeah, it did a lane change to get into the faster lane.
Exactly. So there's two lanes here. There's a lot more cars in that lane, fewer cars in this lane, and it's going straight. So it picked the lane with the fewest cars.
The vehicle following it, the distance and the velocity and everything, acceleration, there's nothing here, and it's able to follow the vehicles.
Yep, exactly. There's no explicit distance that's programmed in for how close you should be behind a car. It's, again, just video training.
Yeah, it's intuitive,
just
at
intuitively.
these speeds, and this is kind of like a right following speed.
Like what would humans generally do, and it picks like a reasonable follow distance and does that.
Yeah, the nice thing is, for bad weather conditions, for example, it will automatically increase the speed.
Yep.
And
Or decrease the speed.
Increase the distance.
Yeah, distance. Yeah.
This traffic light takes a while.
Oh, this is the El Camino and Page Mill, a classic Silicon Valley intersection. I've seen this intersection for 30 years, basically.
Yeah. I think the headquarters is the HP. It used to be the HP headquarters.
Yeah, exactly. The Tesla global engineering headquarters in Palo Alto are the former Hewlett Packard headquarters.
Yeah, so literally Silicon Valley started here.
Yeah, exactly. It's an honor to be for our global engineering headquarters to be the kind of where the birthplace of Silicon Valley was. So, as you can see, lovely place. So, we'll see how it does in the parking lot. So, these parking lots are complicated, especially the Tesla parking lot, which is jam-packed. It's probably pretty full even on a Friday night, Friday evening. It's 7 o'clock on Friday. Yeah, this is a fairly tricky light. You got two controlled lefts and two straight, basically two turn lanes and two straight lanes.
And sort of like merge after this turn, which is also interesting because it's like turn and merge.
Yeah, it's good. Exactly, it's going to turn and merge simultaneously, which is tricky. Yeah. Cool. Real smooth merge. Now, one of the interesting things about pure AI driving is that it actually doesn't need a map at all. So we could delete the navigation system, simply give it a GPS point and say, get to this GPS point somehow. We're not going to tell you how. You could say, like, you see that building in the distance? Go there. and it would do that even with no. It would just. It might make some, you know, if you get to go down a road that's a dead end and then have to reverse out. But it would basically be able to do what a human can do. Where if you said, please go to, point at something and guys, they go there. So that's going into the parking lot. There is no explicit map for the parking lot, so now it is just trying to get to a GPS point.
Yeah, they're putting new superchargers here for the cars.
Okay.
Right here.
Yeah, that's how I got to the point, and that's it. All right, so that was the FSD 12 beta drive. Super smooth. One intervention, which we'll fix with a bit more training data, and otherwise, I really have to, like, you know, if this was a Uber driver, pretty much apart from that one intervention, 5 star.
Yep.
So, all right, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. FSD Beta is not perfect. That's why it is not out to the public. But it is a big improvement from what we have out on the streets today. There was one big mistake that FSD Beta V12 tried to make, and that was going through a red light when the turn signal for the turning lane turned green. That should be a relatively easy thing to fix, in my opinion. So this is not perfect by any means, but it does highlight one thing very important to me, at least, as a Tesla investor. Elon Musk has never took an hour out of his day to live stream a version of FSD Beta with a commentator in the car with him, going over the software, how to improve it, things that are good, things that are needing improvement. This really highlights one thing. They are serious about FSD. Maybe they weren't as serious over the last 5 years or so, but the competition is heating up. So I see this as real conclusive evidence that Elon Musk is getting on the ball when it comes to FSD. Really wants to compete in this field and dominate this field. And Tesla obviously has a huge competitive advantage to any other full self-driving software that is in development or out on the roads today. Cruise, Waymo, Mobileye, things of that nature. That's just the sheer data Tesla has. Once the V12 version is perfect and able to operate on roads, it's basically going to be able to launch everywhere simultaneously, while other software providers have to go city by city mapping out the roads. That is very, for lack of a better word, impossible or highly difficult. And Tesla is going to be able to essentially launch at the same time. So this competition that we have seen recently from competitors is really great, and it's really pushing Elon and Tesla to develop the software as fast as possible. The other thing that really I noticed personally is I live in Michigan, so the driving on this live stream is a lot more complicated than my driving, right? That I do really anywhere in Michigan. So if FSD Beta is this good in wonky traffic, it's going to be great in normal traffic and normal kind of intersections and less complicated towns and cities. So you conquer this and you can conquer basically anything else. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want to make more money, you want to reach financial freedom as quickly as possible, or just stay up to date with everything that's going on with Tesla stock every single day, as well as the broader markets. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Michael Tyler, and I will see you in the next one.